let's dive right into the topic of water. And no, we're not talking about water because I'm doing a series on the top 10 videos you should never make if you ever want to succeed on YouTube. We're talking about water because it was my very first homework assignment and it still bothers me to this day because of all the implications and things that have happened since then. So this book, What the Eyes Don't See by Dr. Mona Hanna-Attisha, was assigned to me the first day that I had orientation. They literally had all of the honor students get into one room and said, "All right, guys, here's your first homework assignment," and handed us this book. And it's not a small book, it's not huge, but it's still 352 pages with citations. So, it's a thick amount of reading for that time between the preschool time where you're still in high school and then the college time. It was a bit much for me. We'll go ahead and put this a little off screen because I don't like it. But anyways, this book that I eventually had to read through and did read through proved to be a semi-interesting anecdote about the Flint water crisis. And for those of you that may not know what the Flint water crisis is, it's essentially when the city of Flint, Michigan switched their pipes from these ones that didn't have lead in them to these ones that did have lead in them. And if you don't know why them having lead in them is significant, it's because it's essentially a poison, and this book talks about how it's a poison and how its effects can never be fixed. And so the book goes about all these ways that Mona and her crew try to figure out and fix the Flint water crisis, how they gather data, how they do all these various statistical analyses and talk to important people and make speeches and all of this until they eventually get it fixed. Well, that's all well and good, but it doesn't make for a very interesting read. And it definitely makes a story that could be about 12 pages into the previously mentioned number, like over 300, which is a bit ridiculous when you do think about it. So, needless to say, this roused a little bit of spite in me and is to this day why my honors catalyst is my least favorite class, because they keep assigning homework that I don't think they have any right to assign. Homework that is kind of busy work related. Like one of the things we did was walk around campus and go to fountains and discuss how power was related in each of these fountains and how resilience was in each of these fountains and how identity was in each of these fountains. And you get very tired of saying these things over and over and over again in worksheet format, and it just drove me a little insane, and so now I'm making a video about it. But that in and of itself, that spite, while that is very interesting, I am sure, to all of you listening to this right now, that spite wasn't something that I thought could make a video in and of itself. Which is why I was absolutely thrilled when Sunday night I got another story to add to this one. So it's Sunday night. I'm on my computer doing homework and a notification comes up for GroupMe, the group chat that all of the Honors Village is using, and it says, "Hey, is anyone else's water running low?" And no response happens, and I just kind of look at this and I'm like, that's bizarre, and I don't really think much of it. I finish up my homework, go over to the JoJo viewing session, which was moved to Sunday due to the football game on Saturday, and do that. In the middle of it, the guy that's running it gets up with the phone, goes outside, and goes on a call, and I'm like, that's interesting, I wonder what that's about. And then he comes back in and he says, "Guys, the line has officially burst." And we're like, "What?" And he says, the water line that's like right outside the dorm is apparently spewing water up like 10 feet into the air. And it's made it so that there's no water in the Honors Village. And we're all just like, alrighty then. So we finish up our show because, it's not that much of a big deal. Like, no water, what are we going to do about it? And we go ahead and head back into our rooms. Well, a few minutes after I get back into my room after the JoJo thing, the group chat starts getting responses, one after the other, until you see someone finally say, yeah, the line has burst over there, like across the street. And then now all of a sudden, there's a full out, like, outrage at this fact. Everyone is going in there with all the shade that they could possibly throw. Everyone is like, man, aren't you happy that we paid all of this money just to live in a building with broken water? Like, man, aren't you glad we filled out this survey just so we could be in a building with broken water? And then it got even better. We got one person, mind you, got an email that said, hey, yeah, don't use your water. Make sure that you regulate how many times you flush the toilet because you might only have one. And all of a sudden everyone's like, are you kidding me right now? And then someone tries to turn on a shower and apparently just little drips come out. And now all of a sudden we have the headline, Honors Village Water Crisis. The new title of our wonderful book that we are maybe going to write. This book starring the complete outrage and pain and suffering of losing the water that makes our life possible, just like those people in Flint, Michigan. We had been we had the water that sustained our lives taken away from us, and for that the Honors Village needed to pay. And so now we were all writing in our sentences, all getting ready to publish our novel. We went on like this for about an hour and a half, and then someone got someone said in the group chat, hey, my water's working again. And we all like look at each other in this digital space and we're like, what? And then one by one we go and we check our water, and they all seem to be working again. And sadly, we return to our group chats and we say, yeah, I guess our water is working now. And maybe I'm the only one that was sad that our communal outrage had not climaxed into something even greater than what it had become. But it was a sad, sad time. For me, it was like, man, we almost had a book there. We had such community when we were all drawn together by this water crisis, but now that community has just shattered back into a million raindrops that have fallen down. And in so doing, I learned how to deal with a water crisis just as Dr. Mona would have had me do. How to rally up a bunch of people and get everyone all excited and get everyone ready to make a political statement against the University of Arizona, only to find out that the real problem would be resolved in mere minutes. But hey, that's how life goes. Sometimes your political movement achieves results without even existing, but, you know, such is life, c'est la vie. Anyways, that was my water rant for today. I hope you all enjoyed it, even though it was probably about the weirdest subject that I could choose to talk about. If you like these videos, go ahead and leave a like or subscribe. If you want to be a part of the community, go ahead and comment anything about water, and I will respond to it. Tell me what games you like to play in the water. Tell me the types of things tell me like what you do at the beach. Tell me what you do at the swimming pool, that sort of thing. And just let me know how you're doing, if nothing else. Anyways, I've been trying to do this cringy outro for a while now, and I'm gonna keep trying to do it until I get used to it. So here goes. I hope that you soar high and enjoy the ride of life, and have a great day. Goodbye.